store for everyone this week, and we have started kicking it up even right from today. But one thing I will advise everyone is that please remain active. Now, the point or why we are teaching you is not, see, if it was for us to teach you just learn front end development, it's something we could have done, right? Just teach them, let them learn how to code. But you see, in life, especially in this paper, that's not how it works. You can have like 100 people enroll for a certain course, and only, let me say, 50% is making it from the course. Why? Because those people, they are not doing certain stuff they need to do. And that's why at level 3 we are not just structured around just teaching you, like you learning HTML, learning CSS, learning Python. No, it shouldn't be like that. See, me personally, I've learned from experience. I've learned from a whole lot, and with that whole combination of what I've learned from, that's what I embed into my own system. So when we give you assignments, when we have career sessions, when we give you class, when we give you competitions, you know that this is what actually happens in the real tech world you are going into. This is what really happened in the real tech world you are going into. And I want to appreciate everyone that has remained consistent up until now. Now, some of you might think or might feel it overwhelming, but I want to assure you that it is not overwhelming. Because the morning, in fact, more developers will be needed in the future. More developers will be needed in the future. Because there's going to be a lot of catastrophe that this whole AI saga would cause, basically, and they would need more developers to actually fix this issue. Even the saga has not started from now. The saga has started because, I mean, AI is good, no doubt. Um, Trillions of dollars invested into AI. Companies laying off their staff because of they want to invest into AI is good. But the fun fact about it is that it's not really that profitable because it's expensive to run. It's really, really expensive to run AI. It's really, really expensive. I'm telling you. Do you get? So eventually, these people will still need humans to solve the problems, and that is where you come in. So this week is going to be a whole lot, and one of the center focus of this week would be public building. That will be one of the center focus of this week. Let me just pull out the plan for the week. We sent it to the community. How many of you received the schedule? If you received the schedule for the week today, I mean the whole schedule for this week, just signify. Let me see thumbs up. Now, if you know you are in this class currently, you know you're in this class, take a screenshot of the class with the link of the class, send it to the group. Now, not just the link, send the link, because one thing about this attendance, I don't know how many of you saw that there has been a whole lot of changes to your dashboard. In fact, let me even show that first before I go into. I have only 5 minutes to spend here with you guys, because tomorrow I'm having class with you. Let me just show you. Let me show you what we, because per week you'll be seeing new updates from the platform. So this is front-end development. So you must always join your live. It's either you join it from your dashboard or you click on the link so that your attendance will be marked. If not, your attendance will not be marked. It's just like you didn't attend the class, basically. And look at something. This is your certificate right in front of you. This is your certificate. But look at the requirements for your certificate. So you need to hit all these benchmarks before you get your certificate. You see 40 virtual class, live classes, 10 live classes, assignments, exam, exam average. You need to score above 40%. Minimum SP point is 100,000 SP point, and it's possible. You can have someone already gaining 21,000 SP point, then 100,000 should be the bare minimum for you to gain. 100,000 should be the bare minimum for you to gain. So you need to put in the work. And immediately you are done with all this and everything checks, your certificate is open to you. You don't need to reach out to us and say, give me my certificate. Your certificate is here and it is verified and certified and also powered by Robotic Technologies Limited, basically. So you are getting a verified certificate from a verified company. You get, so your certificate is verified. So I'll advise everyone to put in the work. You need to put in the work actually if you want to attain this level of this. You can see 3% of completion. So we don't need to actually be looking up for you. And part of the thing that would show that you see, I've attended one live class today. It's showing that I've attended one live class today. So if you don't attend live classes, it's bad reputation for you. If you don't attend live classes, very very important. Live classes are very very important. And also virtual classes, you can always access your virtual class that you didn't access before. Like see, this was the first virtual class, setting up the environment. Second virtual class, HTML fundamentals. Those virtual class, text, links, and image. If you learn all these things, what we're going to change today is going to be easy breezy. And we were supposed to drop the assignments for the week today, but generally GitHub, I don't know how many of you know about GitHub. Generally GitHub had issues, so deploy um we couldn't deploy the assignment because we wanted to make some changes. The deadline was we wanted to make some changes, but we couldn't because GitHub generally had the issue, so we couldn't do that. But hopefully by tomorrow, the deadline is going to be on Friday. You are basically building off what we already started. And that thing I would love to highlight, it is your pod. Let me open up the pod there. You see these groups that you are in, they are very, very important and essential. They are very, very important and essential. Like I said, we on our own end, we are focused on you building something after this course. By the end of this course, I want to have 35 products that I'm showcasing to investors. I want to have 35 products. And I can't have 35 products from inactive groups. We ordained group leaders, even to the extent that some group leaders were not even they were not even showing up. They're not doing what we said they should do. Basically, it is very, very wrong. Your group leader is very, very important because it's not like your connection between you and us because we have a lot of students. I'll say we are managing over 400 students as a rotating for this front end course. And we can't reach out to everyone. So I've picked up representative for you. They are going to be a bridge between you and us. So that you can anytime you're having issue, you can reach out. Classes they can reach out to you. Every other thing. Hey, you get so that we make the course easy for you. But apart from that, we are running a competition this week and there's going to be gift prizes and also SP points to each course that do well, basically. So if you are not engaged or active in your group, it is high time that you're very, very active in the group. It is high time you're very, very active in the group. To the reps that actually reached out to us earlier, I really appreciate your work. We have had a lot of people. As you see, court one, I don't even know about. I don't know what's wrong with them. They are not active. They are not active. Classes they don't attend. Um, it's bad reputation basically for them. If you're in court one and you are here, signify any court one in the house. Okay, I think we have one court one in the house. Please, your people they are not active. That's very very bad. I think we will have to basically. So it is very very essential and important. So let's look at what we have this week. After that, I'll just pass the mic to Mr. Dwight. I mean, Mr. Fair. Some of you don't even check these links. Some people are raising that you can talk. Oh, this for data analyst. Gee, did I send data
Good
analyst?
evening.
Good
Good
evening.
evening.
Good evening.
Towards 15. The
Okay.
guy is a group leader. I don't know if you checked. He sent a message yesterday that we can't keep up with you like this again. That will be leaving the group. And yet, the person that sent updates, they still making the group leader. If you
Your
check,
your your speaker is breaking. I can't hear you clearly.
can
Your
you
speaker is
hear me now?
it's still breaking. It's still breaking.
Can you hear me now?
It's still breaking. Yeah, I can hear you a little bit.
The guy you made our leader sent a message yesterday that he won't be available for the classes again. He sent a message yesterday and yet you guys made our leader again. I saw his name as Cohort 15 leader. But he has already
Okay,
sent
we'll
me
look
to
into.
say he can't keep up with the classes, he can't keep up with that is learning, that is doing at the moment.
Okay, we'll look into that and we'll change it. Thanks
Do
for
you understand
bringing
what
that
I'm
up.
saying?
Yeah, I understand. Thanks for bringing that to our notice. We'll look into that. So I have other hands up. I have Mercy and I have Odesola. Yeah. So Mercy, what do you?
Good evening, time.
Good evening.
Actually, I don't have much to say. It's just that my people in my cohort 13, they are not responding at all. It's just about three of us that we are making the group to at least. Other people are just there. We don't know them, and they are not attending to the challenge we were given.
Okay, we are going to track every student and we are going to remove everyone that is inactive for a while. So we'll look into that actually. Thank you very much. We'll
All
definitely
right,
look
then.
into that. Like we were planning to actually do that today, but I mean, a lot of the work of selecting leaders.
It was, it was 15, and I'm the only person that has been talking. It was 15.
We'll look into that too. So we have other questions, but okay. I think Odisela has answered the question. Is it Odisela that
Good
just talk now?
evening.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Good evening, sir, Mr. Joshua, and good evening, everyone.
Good
Yeah,
evening, sir.
please, I just want to, I'm from court 26. Well, I saw my name as the leader. That's not a problem. But my issue is, uh, I'm just learning this. I really don't know much, and I'm trying to learn.
Yeah,
Now, I don't
yeah.
know how to,
Being a leader doesn't mean you know much. We didn't select people based on you know much or you don't know much. You get. Being a leader just means that
okay,
you are more like the coordinating person that coordinates the. Like I said, it's a competition-based learning. So you are building alongside learning. So
okay,
whatever you are learning in this, you are going to build alongside your team. Do you get? Are you are demoing it and gaining points and prize for it. You get, so it's just more like a competition kind of thing where you are building actual stuff and deploying based on what you learned, not based on what you already know. You get, so based on what you learned on our platform, that's what
all right, no
we're
problem,
going
sir.
to do
God will help
and
us.
expert. Yes, sir. So I think we have other questions.
All right, thank you.
Okay, if you have any other question, you can just talk. Okay, I think there is none. So let me just give a summary of what we have this week. So this week is focused on style and show up. Style and show up. So you be able to style and you able to show up. Last week we put structure. This week we make it look like something. Learn what the internet sees when it looks at you and start putting your work and yourself in front of people. I've told you severally from day one, you need to start putting yourself in front of people. You need to start putting yourself in front of people. So we have for Monday. Monday we're having Mr. Okwe, which that was spelled wrong. This is the class we're having now, Mr. Okwe. So Mr. Okwe is going to teach us Sematic Html today. Then Tuesday we have I think we have okay, online presence, career class, and your virtual class, very very important. On Wednesday, if you have issues with the virtual class, raise up your hand. Like just indicate if you have had issues with the virtual class before, raise up your hand now, so that we can resolve the matter. Okay, I see testing. Testing, what's your issue? What's the issue you have with the virtual class?
Um, the second, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, the second class I attended during the lab section, there are some links there that we can click that will take us on that site and we'll see some examples there.
Yes.
So I clicked on it to get an example of how to do it well. And when I went back to the website for the lecture, it's closed and I had to restart again.
Wow. You shouldn't do that. So I
And
mean,
that's
for
it.
now, if you go there now, you shouldn't you shouldn't do that again ever. We already fixed that problem. We already
Okay,
saved
okay,
state, so you should never do that again. Do you get?
okay.
It now
Thank you.
gives you an option to either start from the beginning or continue from where you stop. So you should never do
Okay,
that
that's good.
again.
Thank you. Thank you for the.
Okay. So I want to. Is there any issue with the voice, like Kemi's voice at any point?
No,
Anybody
there's no
have
issue.
issue with Kemi's voice?
No.
No.
No. There's no issue with Kemi's
So
voice.
someone
It's
complained
very
to me
clear
that
and good.
she don't like she don't get to that. I just go in notification, my data just finished. Wow. Can we still hear me? Sorry.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, so let me just. I want to pass the mic to Mr. Today is not my day. It's not my class. You get, so I'm not supposed to even be here. So Mr. Okwe is going to introduce. Now this class is very very important. They're introducing CSS to you on Wednesday. So if you miss that class, mm, mm. On Thursday, virtual classes. On Friday, okay, virtual class on Friday. Saturday is yours. There's only 5 days we're asking for you. So in between there is a challenge for everyone called competition. This is what we're going to be doing basically. So I'm going to be discussing this very soon. Then also there's an assignment. Start your profile. We're going to be having this assignment and send you the instruction so I can do it. So there is two assignments for you. And if you look at each day has its own work. It's full brief and requirement given to the okay. Okay, like I said, okay, there's no activity for today. But let's look at for tomorrow if you have any activities. So okay, now tomorrow's activity. Screenshot and screenshot of your updated or GitHub profile with one. So basically, this is the task for you to do. Basically, so you're going to be doing this task tomorrow, and we're going to be monitoring it and making sure you did. So that is your plan. So now, what me I will do already, I will put this in my schedule so I don't miss track on anything. That's why we do these things so that you can, it's good to write down your goals. If you can write down your goals today, you'll be able to achieve it. Do you get so that we are on track? We don't want to miss out on anything. That's why we send you this. By the end of this week, you should be gaining nothing less than 4,000 SP points. Nothing less than 4,000 SP points. So someone has a question. Last question, magnificent design. Let me have you.
Okay, good evening, sir. Good evening, Mr. Alfred. Good evening, everyone. It's not kind of a question. I'm just kind of curious. On the
Okay.
portal, like the
Yes.
SP point, how? Like I'm very curious. Why is it that some are kind of like very, very high and we are doing the same thing? I went there today and I saw that maybe like 19,000 something, 20 something,
We will
20,000.
we will definitely look into that too. I'm
And
myself,
doing the same
I'm
thing.
being
I'm kind of
suspicious to how they are
I'm not
multiplying their
sure.
SP points.
So that's my question. Thank
Yeah,
you.
I think
No,
what's
you should be
happening
attending.
is
Okay,
hello, sir. Yeah, Mr. Joshua.
I'm
I think
listening.
what's happening because I also experienced that. I
Okay, your network is. Or is it my network?
think what's happening is that
In between, your network is breaking.
oh,
Mr. Adams, your network is
for
breaking.
like the first class, that's can you hear me, sir?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear
Oh,
you.
can you hear me now? Hello?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Yeah, I said I think what is happening is that what is happening is that for the for the virtual class, for the virtual class, like when you log in, some of us we couldn't complete it at the first login. So by the time we go back there again, it starts reading another point for us, and it's going to start from the beginning. So
Exactly,
those
that's true.
points I think were accumulating. So the same thing
Mm-hmm.
goes to the second track class. So
Like,
and
that's very true.
You have not finished it. That is what is happening. I've tried to observe that.
Don't worry. Don't worry.
Yes,
We'll
sir.
minus
Ah, no,
we'll
no, no.
minus every
Wait,
illegal.
wait,
We would
wait,
minus every illegal
Apart
wait,
response
from
from
wait,
that,
wait,
anybody.
No, it's
wait.
not
I
illegal.
did
Some
not
of us
mention
don't know how to
hold on,
do
wait.
it.
I did not agree. I did not
and
agree. I did
apart
not
from
agree
that,
because I wish to sit down for like 3 hours, 2 hours to do my work like at a
Don't worry.
single
Justice will be served. Justice will be served. Yeah, justice will be definitely served.
wait, I'm
Don't
seeing
worry.
Mr. Okpen now. Mr.
also
Okpen said that he had 7,000 and he did his assignment. He had like 12,000 or something. How?
Ah.
How now? How now?
we'll, we'll
actually,
fix that actually. Someone is talking.
also like I wanted to actually say something because, like, I intentionally tried different aspects of the website to actually understand the interaction of the AI agent and us, the users. So, also, the three pages, when I opened this website on three different pages, they're not in sync, they're not syncing with each other, they're not consistent with each other. So, if I should open a page and do something in a page, or work on a virtual class in a different page and work on another different page at the same time, it will be adding different SP points for me.
Mm,
That's
mm,
also
mm,
one
mm,
other thing I
mm, mm,
noticed.
mm, mm.
Apart
Thank
from that, the AI agents I noticed, I will not say it is hallucinating, I will just say it. I cannot ask a question and it actually give me an answer,
yeah.
except
We
it be a
actually
predefined
our
question.
yes. I know. Like we fixed that already, but I mean, like I think we had like a cloud generator today, basically. So I couldn't get like the actual token that we needed. So that issue would actually be fixed. We should have fixed it today, but we couldn't make any like if you are developing our technical people couldn't make any deployment today, so they couldn't fix it because of I think generally GitHub is having an issue. So they couldn't fix that, but
Okay.
we'll fix that very soon. So it's not if the
Okay.
AI is hallucinating. It's just it doesn't just want to give you a
It's
it
just
doesn't just
looking,
want to
it's
give
just
you
answering
it's just
predefined
looking from
questions.
the context. Yeah, it's looking from the context of what you are learning basically. So it's not
Okay.
intelligent. It's like context in between AI. It doesn't just want to fall back to not giving you an answer. Do you get it? That would have been worse. So it's just
Oh,
giving you context or based on the topic. So it's not going to be very, very intelligent, basically.
all
It's
right.
just going to give you
Thank you.
predefined stuff. Yeah. So we'll fix that, don't worry. Yeah. So I think that will be all. I think I need to take my leave now. Don't worry, everybody that got illegal SP points would actually monitor it and we'll fix it. Yeah, thank you very much. I really appreciate you for the feedback. It's very, very important. So if you know that your friend or anybody in your court is running this class, go and remind them. Drop the link. Drop the link. Don't drop the Google link itself. Or drop the class link, the one that has your 3 on it, because that's how your attendance will be marked. You shouldn't join from the ordinary link of the class itself. Join from the link we sent, the official link we sent, so that your attendance will be marked. Because I told you, see, everything is reading. Your certificate is yours. Immediately everything ticks. So it depends on what you do. That's what will determine if you get a certificate with us or you not get a certificate with us. So it's not as if we will call you and say take your certificate. No, your certificate is here. It's cooking. You just need to be active and be there and make all your progress tick before it can get done. Thank you very much. Have a nice class today. Mr. Okwe, over to you.
Good evening, everyone. So, can you signify if you can hear my voice clearly? All right. So, moving on, everyone. So, before proceeding, I'm going to just like revise on a few things that you've learned so far in the past few weeks, or maybe past few days itself. So, based on your virtual classes, can anyone just randomly just come out and just explain what you've learned so far on from the virtual classes itself? So, from your HTML, yeah, from your elements so far that you've learned so far on the virtual class, can anyone just signify and just explain based on the HTML file, HTML element itself, in the past few three classes we've done so far? Can anyone signify and just, the floor is yours. Can anyone just come out and just explain what you've learned so far on the past few virtual classes? So, all right, Valentine, you can answer, please.
Good evening, everyone.
Yeah, good
Can you
evening.
hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. For short, what I've been able to understand is that HTML is the structure, is the primary structure of the website, and whenever we are
Yeah.
trying to create a web page, we we try to we use the doc type. We start with the doc type just to let the browser know what document we are building. I don't know if, but that's what I
Yeah.
think. Yeah, to let the doc
Yeah.
type
Yeah.
come.
I'm getting you. I'm getting you.
Yes, and I also understood that inside a HTML file that will have the head part and will have the body part. The head part which gives information about the website that we are building, all the details that the AI or whatever that is the like Google crawlers, things, information about our website. Then the visual part, the information and other things that we see on the website that they are all contained in the body.
Yeah.
That is what I've been able to gather.
So based on the various visual elements, right? So you said when it comes to visual elements, where do you put them on in the according to your HTML tag itself? When it comes to
That
visual elements, like your headings and your paragraphs, where do you type them? Do you type them in the head
that's
tag or in
inside
the
the
body tag?
body. Inside the body.
So now, yes, yeah. So so moving on. So can you just list the elements that you've learned so far?
I think the
Can you just list the
paragraph. There's a paragraph, and we have the header tags
yeah.
that run from 1 to 6. And I think
So which is
one
like
is
so which
the,
is
sorry.
the most yeah.
Yes,
I'm actually
yes. I
listening.
think one being the most important one, down to 6. We have that
Yeah. All right.
paragraph. We
Cool.
have a header, and I went on to also discover that we have other tags like div and maybe article. Some of them just like that that are
Yeah.
used
Yeah. Yes.
to
Yes.
structure the website. That
All right.
was
Yes.
what I
Definitely.
gathered.
Yeah. Cool. So can anyone else offer? Yeah. Thank you very much, Mr. Valentine. That's
Thank you.
very good. So 1,000 XP for you in the next future.
Thank you.
So thank you very much. So does
Is
anyone
he
else
the
want to
one?
try?
Is he the one to give him the 1,000 SP
Does
for
anyone
you?
else that's what I said in the future now. Yeah, that's what I said in the future. Yeah, my boss. All right, so moving on, everyone. So now, by the time I just spoken about all the elements you have learned so far, based on our virtual classes, based on what Kemi has taught us so far, right? So we said when it comes to the HTML element itself, so everyone, you look, in case you don't have VS Code on your system, this is how VS Code looks like on my system. So now, can anyone signify if he or she does not have VS Code on the system right now? Hello, Mr. Long Mota. Why don't you have VS Code on your system yet?
Oh, good evening. It's Miss actually.
Okay, Miss, so sorry, ma'am.
It's fine. I don't know.
So
Your
why
system keeps my system keeps rejecting VS Code, so I had to download another app on my system.
which is
Let me get the
what? This
name.
is sublime text. This
No,
sublime
no,
text.
Code Pen.
Code pen. Okay, cool. So is it
Yes,
working to your satisfaction anyway?
yes. It's actually doing really well, except for the advert.
So
It keeps
I think the VS Code you're installing is not the one for your system. That's what you're installing.
no,
So
it's
because we go to VS Code
Windows.
system,
It's Windows. I'm using Windows 10, but it keeps
yeah.
rejecting
So
something about it
so
not being.
I think you're installing the wrong version. That's why. So I think if you go to VS Code website, there's the VS version for I think there's the 64 bits. That's one for Windows itself. So if you go to VS Code site, okay, VS Code download, yeah. So there are various versions for of VS Code on the site. So just try and go there again and just look for the one that says Visual Studio Code X64. So that's one for Windows itself. So don't download one of that has like an ARM. If you download ARM, that's not for your system. It's not gonna work on your system.
Okay,
So that's
S64.
where the issue is coming from.
Okay, please, can you
Yes,
come
yes,
again?
X64.
S64. Hmm.
64, yeah, this is I can see my screen. X64.
Yes,
So that's when
okay.
that's when she installs. It's Windows 10.
Oh,
Yeah. So
okay.
don't download any of these other versions won't work on your system. So
Oh, thank
have to
you.
download X64, yeah.
Oh, thank you very, very
Yeah.
much.
So all right. Yeah. So moving on, everyone. So what about you that don't have a system? So yeah, I think Mr. So Mr. Chairman, our Weibo chairman also posted an app you can use
If
on
you
your
don't
phone.
have, let me use this opportunity to demo to you now. I'll just share my screen 1 minute. If you don't have VS Code or you don't have a laptop, basically, eventually you need to get a laptop. But like for now, in between the first month of this course, I mean you can still manage SPCK editor. It's called SPCK editor. I already spoke about it. Let me share my screen. It's more like VS Code too, exactly like VS Code, basically. Let me share my screen and show you how it works. I'll just use this just 5 minutes to share my screen to show you how it works basically. So let me see if I have it. SPCK. I think I deleted it already. I deleted it. So if you go to Google Play Store, search. I'm not sure I have space to do this. SPCK editor. It is something like this. Exactly. Can you see my screen? Yeah, Spark editor basically. So one thing about it is whatever you can do with your VS Code, you can definitely do with this. Now the only part where you might find hard is when you will get to React, and I believe by that time you should have gotten a laptop before that time. I mean, we'll get to React 2 months from now, so you should have like start preparing for that basically because you definitely need a laptop for that. But you see, for HTML, for CSS, for little of JavaScript, you can use this. But now you have to be a very very gritty person. So let me see if I can install it if I have space in my laptop on network. So it's just 10 MB, very very small MB. So I'm not sure my network. Can everyone hear me?
Yes, I
Can everyone
can.
hear me?
Yes.
So hopefully it can install. Let me see.
Yes.
Network is kind of slow. Should be faster. Uh, so I'm doing this for those that have phone. I don't want you to just be discouraged because you don't have a phone. You don't have a laptop basically. So please, I'm taking my time to do it. Use it. It's very very important. Everything. See, editor is not a limitation at this point. It's not a limitation at this point. I've had case scenario where I had to learn using just my notebook and biro. So that shouldn't be an excuse for you. So let me just hopefully it installs finish. So once it install, you can also
Wonderful.
connect your Git. You can connect your Git to it. You can connect your GitHub to it. Some of you, if you're attending the first virtual class, how many of you know about Git? If you know about Git in the house, raise up your hand. I mean, everybody should know about Git by now. Even though you have not explicitly installed it, there's still a special class for version control, but we're still going to be teaching that. But for now, you know about Git. So I'm going to be opening it from here. If you are using an iOS too, it's also available on iOS. So you can see this is basically code. So what you will do now, this is like a file. The normal folder that you're opening in your VS Code that you have seen them open in your VS Code. This is like what you first see when you get to SPCK editor. So what you will do now is just go to this play button. Once you go to this play button, you see different things there. You see project, you can start new project. You just create this. You can see create project or clone repository. This is when you start using GitHub. But what I'm going to do is create project here. So once I create project, you name your project. What's the name of my project? Let me say um let me say HTML 101, HTML 101. Create it. You can see it as created. So everything you will do here, your index.html file, index. For those of you that always go through those challenges, those practical lab, the HTML, use this to do your practical lab. You can see it will create an HTML file. Even give me the boiler template. You can see this is my head tag, this is my body tag. I can code there. I can do h1, give me snippet, hello, and I can run the code. See, hello, you can see it. So pending the time you get your PC, you can use this. Do you get? So your PC should not be an issue. Even those of us that have PC, in between, it has reached to some extent where there was no life, and I have to just use SPCK editor to edit. Do you get? So it's something that you can easily use. So I hope with that I'll be able to share an insight basically. What is the name? I just SPCK editor. Just search it SPCK editor on the web. And if you don't have a PC, if you have a PC, use your PC. Use your PC. If you have a PC, use your PC to attend virtual classes. Thank you. Mr. Okpa, over to you.
Yeah, all right. Thank you very much, Mr. Joshua. So everyone, kindly please stop waiting till the live classes before you start asking your questions. So we are available 247. Just ask a question on the group, and we reply you guys immediately. So you just wait to the live classes before you start asking your questions yourself. I don't mean so you can always catch up with our classes over here. So now moving on. I'm on my VS Code over here right now, right? So everyone, like we are all used to our VS Code interface itself. So I'm gonna create a new file over here. I'm just gonna call it Sematic HTML. So I'm just gonna call it Sematic HTML. Remember, when it comes to creating an HTML file, it has to have an extension of .html, right? So can you see my screen? So now, on normal day,
Yes,
when
sir.
you write your HTML, next thing you do is the next thing that you have to do is what your boilerplate. So I'm going to write a shortcut over here to get the boilerplate over here, which is this. So now, can anyone here explain this code I see on the screen over here? Can anyone explain it? Can anyone explain what you see on my screen right now? Can anyone? Hmm. All right, Fritz. Oh, Fritz, yeah,
Yes,
you can
yes.
answer this.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
All right. So first person,
Ah,
okay, Oguni, please. Oguni, can you answer this?
Okay,
okay.
so what we have here now, this is a code. And first of all, the HTML language, which is the second line there, is English. The head, that
Yes.
meta translate. Okay, the title of this HTML project is document, and there's nothing inside the body. That is all.
So you said when it comes to visual elements are stored in where? In the body, right? So Teslim, you want to say something,
Yes.
Mr. Teslim?
Yes, I
All
wanted
right, cool.
to.
So
The doc type is HTML. The first line gives us the doc type, that is HTML. And the meta name, the
yes,
content
yes,
width,
definitely.
that's the initial, how do you call it? Initial size of the files in documents.
What line are you talking about?
One, two, three, four, five. See, line 5.
Okay, cool. Okay,
Content
yeah.
width
All right.
device with initial scale.
Yeah, cool. So now when it comes to the head, now you know that what non-visual elements are stored in the head, right? So your meta tags or whatever are stored inside the head tag. And mind you, information in the head tag determine how the information in the body the elements in the body will look like in a way. Anyway, so the non-visual elements in your head tag affects how the what, or say modifies how the elements in the body will look like itself. I don't know everyone. So based on your virtual classes, you learn certain elements like your heading tag. So mind you, anyone, when it comes to VS Code over here, does anyone know the shortcut for typing that boilerplate? Does, yeah, I mean, you can answer. You can answer, I mean, yeah.
Exclamation mark.
Say exclamation mark, just exclamation mark like this, right?
Right.
And
Yeah,
once
and
you have this
enter.
option, you press enter, right? So you can also do
Yes.
your DOC. You can also do DOC and enter. So it depends on the one you want, and you're good to go. I think there's also an HTML5. Let's see. So same thing anyhow you have. So there are various shortcuts for what on VS Code. Either for us to get all this in itself. I don't remember. So let me do my shift one enter again. So now I'm going to write my headings tab here. Everyone, headings. Let's just say, welcome to Webo. Right. So you say when it comes to headings tab, you have how many levels? We have the what H1 to what to A6, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir. Which
Yes.
one to H6?
All right, cool. So we have what H1 to what to H, and H1 being the what being the biggest, right? And H6 being the what being the smallest, I'm saying most less important itself, right? So you said when it comes to semantics now, everyone. So first thing first, when it comes to computer science, there are two big things that we have to also understand first, which is what the syntax and then what and semantics. I don't remember. So when it comes to syntax, anyone, do you have any student of computer science over here? Yeah, so any student of computer science, can you just please offer and just explain what syntax means to you? Syntax. Can anyone just offer to explain what syntax means to you, he or she from computer science? Let's see your so mention the name of your school and then what your definition, please. Let's see. Just don't put your so no computer science students over here. I thought we were all students.
I think the
All right.
syntax has to do with the vocabularies. Something that has to do with the
Something like
language. Yeah.
so now when it, yeah, I see
So
just
I
vocabularies in
think
a way, right? When you say,
I
yeah, I'm
think
listening, Benny.
like syntax has to do with like the like now the way things are written, sha, the way things are written.
More
Syntax
presentation.
is the rules. Syntax is the rules that a particular like what the code should follow. The set of rules applicable to the
Yeah,
language that are
yeah.
using.
So that uh, a round of applause for Adibukola, 10,000 XP for his sister, man. Wonderful. That's cool. So now when it comes to syntax, everyone, it's more like what the set of rules that it was in which our code is what is much more structured with. I don't know. So the way we structure our code is more of the what is more of the syntax. And mind you, when it comes to computers, if your code if your the syntax of your code is what is wrong, automatically there'll be an error in your what in your code, and the computer will be able to what execute that action itself, execute that code itself. I don't mean. So syntax is more of the what the set of rules that you what in which our code is what is structured in or organized in. So the way you organize your code is more of the what is more of the syntax. So for example, now when it comes to English language, right? When you have a plural word, what follows what comes before the plural word? Is it is or are? And when it comes to English language, so you want to say anything, Mr. Rotimi?
Yes, I actually want to say something about the syntax of a thing.
Yeah, I'm listening.
Uh, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
You said syntax is the way the code is being arranged. Is it not the same thing as
Yeah, the
a
structure, the set of rules.
command?
Yeah.
Is syntax doesn't actually, I think it also means command, right?
So now when it comes to command is just a set of code itself. But when it comes to command itself, it's written in a certain format, right? So that if, for example, now we are both speaking to each other now, we're both communicating to each other right now, right? So now the way you are saying your words right now, there's an order to your words, right? So the way you speak, there's an order to where you speak. I'm saying arrange your word itself, right? So now you're speaking to a man. You say she or you say he, right? That's the order, the set of rules that you follow. I listen. I listen. So the
I
set of rules
understand, but what I'm
you
trying to say is
yeah.
this: is that the syntax also means the command given to the computer.
So syntax is like the order in which your command is written in. I don't mean.
Okay.
So you're looking at it over also have over here. It's also like a command itself. But telling the browser to execute this to display this set of code on the on the screen on your browser itself, right? So if there's an error in the way you wrote your command, automatically the computer won't be able to execute that command because it is wrong. I don't mean. So
Yeah.
if there's an error in your code, automatically the computer won't be able to execute the code itself because there's an error in in the command. Do you understand? So that's what I'm trying to say. So now looking at our code over here right now. So when it comes to HTML syntax, right? We have the opening tag and the closing tag, and in between is the content, right?
Hmm.
So that's the syntax, right? So when it comes to HTML syntax, We have the what the opening tag, right, which is this, and then the what and the closing tag, and then in between is the what is the content. I tell me. So now imagine now. So I hope you can also my screen very well, everyone. So now imagine I delete this greater than sign here. So can you see what happens now? Can you see what happens now? Automatically there's an error in my what in my code right now. Which you can see over here. Can you see this right now? So there's an error in what in this code right now. And what's the error right now? What's the syntax? What's the syntax error? Can anyone see that? It's because I moved what this right now. This sign is what I wish I deleted it over here. So that was what's causing the what the syntax error itself. So the moment it comes to your command, if your command syntax is not what's correct, automatically what that command is what is wrong. And computer won't be able to what, execute that code itself. I don't mean. Just want to say something along, yeah.
Yes, I'm sorry, please. I'm just trying to clarify this just so I won't make mistake. So the syntax
All
is
right.
not exactly a command. It is pretty much a set of rules that has already been implemented in HTML that
So now
when
the
it is
command,
not being followed, it will experience problems into implementing the command that has been put
as
in
no,
place.
yeah, can you just take some. I'm not hearing you clearly, you.
Okay, can you hear me now?
So now I'm not hearing you clearly. Can you type a message on the group chat?
Okay.
Can you text a message because I'm not hearing clearly I'm not hearing clearly actually. So does anyone other person have any other questions to ask? Any questions to ask regarding the syntax?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Yeah, we can hear you now. We can hear you now. Yeah.
Okay. I just want to clarify this. So I'm a bit confused. I just want to like clarify that the syntax is not really, it's not exactly a command. It is pretty much rules and regulation that has been implemented in the HTML that has to be followed through in order to avoid any errors or mistakes being made. So
Yeah.
once a
Yes,
mistake has been
definitely.
made, it will note it or signify it so that it can be corrected.
Yes. So
Okay.
now, right now, when it comes to so when it comes to programming, right? It's not just you also when it comes to programming itself, there are various kind of errors that you can make. So one of the errors is a syntax error. And now when it comes to syntax, it's more of the rules and what in which your code is ordered in. So for example, I was using the English language now as an example, right? So I say when it comes to using English language, if I say this a boy, syntax is it correct? See, when it comes to syntax, is this correct when it comes to English language? Right? So this is wrong. This is wrong because when it comes to syntax English language rules, when it's singular, you use what is, and when it's plural, what do you use? You use what? You use are, right? That's English language syntax, right? The same thing is what with code also. So when it comes to code, there's a particular syntax that you have to you have to follow. So everyone understand not that everyone just start writing anyhow for the computer to just execute this code. So when it comes to computers, it follows a certain rule. So when you write those codes in that proper order, automatically there won't be any errors in your code. And when there's no error in your code, the computer was able to execute the code satisfactorily in a way. So I say when it comes to HTML right now, you should have to understand the syntax. I have to understand the semantics, right? So when you say syntax is the rules behind the code, semantics is the meaning behind behind the code itself, or beside what you're writing. You say is the meaning behind behind the code itself. So now we all said this is an heading, right? So H1 here is what means what heading. So automatically the meaning behind the H1 is what this means this is an important text itself. I very one. So when it comes to syntax is what is like is the meaning behind behind the rules itself. I mean semantics is the meaning behind behind the rules itself. So you as a person, as a developer, when you're writing H1 and you're writing your H2, you should know what this H1 is what an heading. So you should know H1 means what H1 means what the main head, and H2 means your subheading. So that's the syntax, also the semantics behind behind the rules itself. How do you understand what I'm trying to say? So H1 means what the heading, and your H2 means what the subheading. So when it comes to syntax here, I mean semantics over here means what? So when it comes to semantics, I'm sorry. So when it comes to semantics over here, this means what H1 means what? Main heading. So let me just put it up here. So you know your H1 here means what? Main heading. I remember. So you say your H1 means what? Your main heading. That's the semantics. That's the meaning behind your what? Your H1. So when you see your H2, what does the H2 do? That's a what? A subheading. So I hope you all know that this is what? This is a comment here. This line of code here is called a what? It's called a comment. I hope you all know that. So your H2 here means what? Means what? Your subheading. Are you hearing me? So that's the semantics. That's the meaning behind the code you're writing. So now, based on your previous virtual class, you did something called what divs and what? Okay, you did something called what, generic elements, right? So you did something called generic elements in your virtual class. Am I right? Yes or yes? Yeah, you did something like divs and span. Do you all still remember this? Do you all remember this in your class? In your last class? So do you all remember the div tag?
We remember it.
So do you all,
Yes,
so,
yes, we
so now
remember
can
the
we
div tag.
so what does the div tag represent?
We
What does the
remember
div
it.
tag represent? Yeah, so what does the div tag represent? So it's based on what
Yes, we remember it.
The div tag is more like a
yes.
container.
So based on
It's more like a
yeah.
container
So it's a container for
for
so it's
holding
more like a
other
container, right?
elements.
So now yeah. Well, Mr. Valentine, I want to take all my XP points, yeah. Because I've been really answering this morning. Right? So you said something like what your UL. So now when it comes to UL, does anyone know the meaning behind the UL tag? So does anyone know the meaning behind the UL tag? So whenever you see the UL, what does it mean to you?
On
It's
other
a
list.
list on other lists.
So it means an
On
other
other
list, right?
list.
So that's the meaning behind the code you're writing. So whenever you see your UL, you should know that this is what is unordered. Whenever you see an OL tag, what does that mean? The OL tag means what? This is what is
Ordered list.
ordered, right? I don't remember. So that's the meaning behind the code you're writing. So you as a developer, when you're writing your code, you should know the syntax, and you should also know the meaning behind the code you're also writing yourself. I don't remember. So now imagine I want to create a main heading now. Yeah, I want to create a main heading. And instead of saying my H1, I use the word a paragraph for the main heading. Semantically, is that correct? Anyway, so imagine
No.
me using a paragraph for a main heading.
No, that's
Semantically,
not
Yes,
it's
sir.
not
necessary for
correct.
paragraphs.
It is
So
wrong. It is
No.
wrong.
it is wrong, right? So it is wrong, right?
Yes.
But on a Monday,
Yes.
so I'm going to open my live server now, right? So I hope you all have this session on our system, the live server.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, so cool. So because you should get used to what your VS Code, right? It's a wonderful software. So now, so as I was saying now, so when it comes to headings, you don't use your power. This mic is sitting on right now. So when it comes to your headings, right, you don't use the paragraph as a main heading. Likewise, when it comes to you don't use the paragraph itself as a main heading, right? Because that's what semantically it is wrong. I don't mean. So now this reason why we say all this is right now is because on normal day, these headings right now should not matter in a way. When it comes to the style itself, should not really matter in a way. What matters most is the elements. You see the elements that you use for your in your code itself for the structure. So now if your structure is wrong, it's very bad for your SEOs and for your for your screen readers and whatever. Because on Monday, there are some softwares for people that are blind itself. For accessibility, you know what you call accessibility right now. So people that are blind that can't see, they make use of screen readers, right? So now these screen readers are also what goes through your code itself. They go to your structure itself, understand what the structure looks like, and then based on the structure of the code, they can understand the layout of the website. I don't know. So if you're using a paragraph for your main heading, that will confuse your screen readers and also your SEOs, right? For what that would do what confuse your SEOs, and that's a bad user experience for people that are disabled. I don't mean. So mind you, when it comes to these elements now, if you know the structure, the elements you should use for your for your design, for your design itself. So now moving on, everyone. When it comes to div, remember I said that the div is a container, right? Used to group elements together. right? So now I'm going to show you like just a little structure, so a little diagram of how what a website what looks like. I one. So when it comes to a website, mostly you have the what at the top. You have like a list of MC at the top over here. So let's get an example now. So I think I have a picture of my system, or let's go to a site. I'm going to go to Piggyverse for now. Piggyverse. So I'm just showing you how to go to save your money. So I'm going to go to Piggyverse site over here, and also a Flutter Wave. And let's just see how their site looks like together. So you can see right now over here. So this is Flutter Waves, this is Piggyverse main site. So you can see at the top over here, we have this item here, right? As you can also see here, oh sorry. So you can see at the top over here, we have this list of links here. You can see how you have this save, blah blah. These are what list of what your links. You can see at the top over here. Let me see if I can put a border or let me say a shape around this stuff. So let's hold on 1 minute, please. So let's see something I can add a border or let me say a box around these items. So let's see border on PX. So you can also see my screen right now. So you can see well, this is Flutterwave's site. So you can see there are various boxes around each of the elements, right? So you can see right now this box now, this logo, this list of links over here, they are all inside the box, right? So now when it comes to web elements on the MCU, when it comes to the web page itself, there are various containers there are various containers that group items together. I don't mean so I'm also show you a diagram over here. So right now this is a diagram of how the web page looks like, most web pages. So at the top over here we have a navbar. I don't remember one. At the top over here we have a navbar, and then you have after your navbar you have your various sections, as you can see over here. So if I keep on scrolling down, I have various sections on the web page itself. So it's more like when it comes to a web page now, you have various containers, right? So you don't just use only the div alone as a container. I don't mean you don't just use the div alone as a container for all your elements. So there are specially made containers on HTML. I remember they are specially made containers on HTML that do certain so they have like certain meanings to it itself. I don't know one. So now the containers include your nav. I don't mean. So come just put a nav. So you have your nav, you have your header tags. Sorry, you have your header tags. So I'm actually listen down all the elements that you can use instead of your div itself. So let me show you. So these are called semantic. Let's put a semantic structural elements. So now when I say structural now, this was just for your structure on your web page itself. So like to contain their containers itself, like specially made containers itself, because that was meaning to it. So these elements over here I'm listening right now, these are called semantic elements. So I have the header, you also have your main. So you have your main, you have your so I think you have the aside. So I'm just trying to remember the list of the other ones. So you have the section, you have section, so you have the footer. So I think you see about that ones. So I don't know if you have that ones. I'll just list them later.
Article.
Yeah, article. So I don't forget that one. So sorry, thank you very much, Mr. I'm sure that's Valentine again, right? So now, I don't remember. So now these are one of the few semantic elements that we know of. So now when it comes to your navbar, everyone. So now when it comes to your navbar, everybody, you use the navbar for what? The navbar is an element. So the navbar, everyone, the nav tag is more about an element used for what? Navigation links. So let's say you have let's say you have a list of links over here. You can just put your logo. I'm also going to say my logo. And just put a logo for now. So you have your URL, li, right member. So now when it comes to your navbar right now, right, it's more of a container. Used to group your list of your links. So then anywhere you have a list of links over here, that's why you have your navbar. So that's called the navbar. So that's what you use your navbar for. So just say for example, let's go to your Jumia over here. So you can see over here right now, this is a navbar at the top over here, right? Because you consider what list of links or whatever. Not only your list of links, but mostly your other important stuff itself, as a navbar itself says. So navbar says what? Full meaning is what? Means what? Navigation. Everyone. So full of navbar is what? Is navigation elements, container itself. So most times, instead of saying a div, instead of using a div for this, you don't use a div anymore. Instead of using a div, and you say li, and you say your anchor tag, and you say anchor tag. This is wrong because automatically this confuses your screen readers and your SEOs, right? So if you are seeing a div over here as a container for your list of links, it is wrong semantically. Because instead of using a div for your list of links, use a navbar instead. I remember. So same thing now. So when it comes to your header, the header element is more of a component. Let me say an element. These are at the top of of the screen of of your web page itself. Right? So when it comes to the header, it's more of at the top. And when it comes to your footer is like like the last element on the the bottom of of your web page. Right now, but which mic is switching right now? Someone's mic is switching right now. Yeah, but does anyone have a question? Okay, so can you just ask a question, please?
I just want to clarify something concerning that header part, the header. Can we
Yeah,
actually use the when we type the header, can we also input the navbar inside? Like,
yeah, definitely. Sure. Yes, you can.
okay,
Yes, you can do that. Definitely, you can. You can. Because I just say it's more like element at the top itself. So when you have an header, you can put your navbar inside of inside of the header itself. Definitely, you can't do that, right? So now once you have your header, you also have the main tag. So the main tag mostly contains the main as the word says main, because it contains the main component, and so the main content of of the web page itself. That's where you have your main tag. I don't remember. So that's where you have your main tag. So I'm just going to show you punch newspaper now. So that's more of the semantical meanings of when it comes to HTML. So that's more of the semantic structures or semantic elements itself. So these items over here, they have a particular meaning that you can use to attach to it itself. So instead of us using your div as the main container for everything, use semantically approved elements like your navbar, your headers, your main, aside section and various other ones itself. Are you with me, everyone? So now instead of also now I think you see some places where people use instead of using a button, they use a div instead. This is also also wrong. Imagine using a div as a sign up. This is confusing, right? So you don't use a div as a button. Instead, use it's a button for that already. So use a button as login. So now you as a person now, or as a developer, yeah, as a developer right now. Now you if you see these two buttons, if you see these two elements now, which one do you prefer is as a button? Which one do you think is a button itself? When you look at these both elements. You pick the div as a button or this button tag itself.
The button tag.
So this right? Because
button
this is much
tag.
more explanatory in a way. So you as a person, you should know the meaning, right? As the word says button, you should know that this automatically this is a button itself. So now I'm going to inspect on the screen. Let's see what happens. Let's hold on. So now, mind you, you can see right now they both look different, right? As you can also see here. So right now you can see over here. This is my div, and this is my button over here. Automatically they look different, right? But mind you, when it comes to CSS, can you CSS media look the same? I do one. Using CSS, I can do what? I can make them look the same. But what matters most is the what is your structure. So as long as your structure is correct, your SEOs will be able to what read your code very well, and they will structure what your content itself. I do one. So that's the essence of you having what using your semantic what HTML itself. So now, before we call it a day, I'm going to just show us something called a class. So there's something called classes in CSS. So now classes are like what are like attributes, or let me say yeah. So classes in itself are like let me say attributes, or let me say yeah attributes itself that are not unique itself. They're not unique itself, but they used to what group multiple elements what together. I know one. So now I said a class now is a non-unique attribute. Is to what group multiple items what together, or we say multiple elements together. So I can say h1, I can say a class. I know one. So I can just say heading. I know one. So a class is a non-unique attribute used to what group multiple elements what together. I don't know. So mind you, this as we move on, as we move further in our classes, we're going to have to we're also going to get familiar with what with this class attribute itself. So we're going to know about class, and we're going to also know about what about headings, classes. So non-unique attributes used to what group multiple elements together. Yeah, together. I remember. So you have your class. You also have your what your IDs. I'm going to say H2. So I'm going to say as an ID. So yeah, I'm going to say sub. So now IDs now are what are unique values, or even say unique attributes itself, used to what identify what a specific what element. As the word says, identification ID. As you all know what ID means, right? It's a unique what identifier. Yeah, so I say a unique what. Um, um, used to yeah. You want to say something, please? Yeah, I want to say something, please. Anyway, I'm missing everyone. So I just want to use this one. So now, okay, so moving on right now. So now, before the advent of semantic HTML, what past developers used was classes. I don't mean. So they use classes to like what I'm saying to like give meaning to the element itself. I remember. So based on the previous before the introduction of HTML, before the introduction of semantic HTML, they use classes then to what to separate to identify certain elements. So for example, I use a div for my list of links or over here. This one come over here. So I'm going to copy this. Uh, I just okay. So now, mind you, so there was time back in the ancient days then, before the advent of HTML5, but before the introduction of semantic HTML, what they used most times was what they used div for almost everything. I listen everyone. So the div was used for mostly all the structural containers itself. So mind you, back then what they did was most times was you create a div and they give it was a class, right? And they say what navigation. I don't remember. So this is what they did back then. So using the div for everything. So get a div, give it a class and call it a particular thing, call it navigation. Get a div again, call it header. I don't know. This is what they did back then. And then the developer said that instead of doing this something like this, why just create the elements for it itself. So guys just create what particular elements that will do certain things that do just do this thing itself. So instead of us creating these divs and saying dot main, so instead of using the div for almost all the social elements, right? And then doing all these things, and I just want create what elements for this itself. So that's when this element is silver. That's when it came up with this semantic HTML element itself. So instead of us using all the divs and give the class of certain things, I just use this particular semantic HTML, which is much more better for your SEOs and your screen readers yourself. How do you it I don't remember one. So mind you now, I'm going to show us one more element. I'll just one more element over here. Let's say we have this over here right now, a paragraph, and I do this. Um I mean yeah, actually yeah, okay, I mean is I do this. So now does anyone know the meaning behind this strong and the EM? Does anyone know what they do? This strong and EM? I just taught in the virtual class. So I want to know if you are all following the virtual classes. Not just
Yeah,
chasing
the
your FP,
strong is
but we're
bold,
learning as well.
bold
Let's
different.
make sure we're all learning and not just chasing the SP itself. So now we all did this one like this in the virtual class itself. Where you have the strong and the EM.
The
So now
strong
does anyone
represents importance,
know the
something that
meaning
is
behind these two tags? Anyone?
The strong
Does anyone know
represents
the meaning behind these
the
two tags?
importance,
This
while
your
the
strong and the
EM
EM. So who wants to
talks more about the emphasize more about the word.
I get you. So someone said bold on the group chat. Why you say bold? So any you want to say something any? Okay, Messi, yeah, Messi, you're free to answer, please. Yeah, Messi, you are listening.
The reason why she said bold was actually what they mentioned in the virtual class. Like strong is used for making content bold. At the same time, it is used for
That's no way. That's no
ensuring
way. I'm not sure.
that
That's not what I said in the virtual class. Oh.
wait,
That was not said in the virtual class actually.
the video that was sent in the virtual class, was it a 10 minutes video, the 8 minutes, something like that was
Yeah.
mentioned. Then emphatic stress was used for phrasing content. That's it.
For closing content.
Phrasing,
No, you have
phrasing
to,
content.
so Joshua, Mr. Joshua, Joshua, Mr. Joshua, are you in on the group, please? Can you please confirm that on the? You have to check that, please. So, I think
Yes,
that's wrong.
the video that was sent, the video that was sent said bold, but
Yeah.
in
no,
the notes that we're reading, the notes was talking about making like talking about importance. Yeah, but the video was talking about bold. The video talked about that the strong is for bold and the EM is
Oh, okay. Okay, I think when it comes
emphasis.
to that bold so I think when it comes to that bold and italics, it's meant the visual representation. I know me. So I think it's meant the visual representation, how it looks like on the interface. That was it meant. I know me. But it starts other meanings behind the scenes. I know me. So it's not just about bold and italics. So according to your remember I said you have semantics, right? So according to semantically, that's a meaning for your screen readers and your SEOs. So any content within your strong means what that text is what is important. I don't mean. So when your screen readers get to that content, that's code, you see that when you see that a content within your strong tag means that that word is very important. So the way it if you pronounce that word or call it out when it is within that text to be different if it's just in an ordinary paragraph. I don't mean. So those things was it's not about just being bold and being italics. It just has a meaning behind the scenes for your screen readers and your words and your SEOs. So when you say you're strong, it means that this word is what is important, very important. So when you're pronouncing it, don't just pronounce it ordinarily. Pronounce it with levity in a way. I don't same thing with your emphasis. So when you say AM means what when you're also calling it, you have your I think when it comes to your these syllables or I try to remember what they call it in that your stress in English language. So there's where you have to stress your word to know if what is very what's important or not. Right? So just stand up now, everyone. So it's not just about being bold and being italics. So when it comes to visual representation, it is bold and it is italic. For your strong bold and for your EM, it is italics. But semantically for your screen readers and your SEOs, means that what the text is what is important for your strong tag, and for your EM, it means what lay more emphasis on the word inside and the content itself. Are we there, everyone? So now, based on what we did so far, anyone, do you have any question? Do you all have any question? Do you all have any question? So no question, everyone. Are we all sure? Yeah. So Messi, please, can you ask a question, please? Or you want to contribute?
Okay, actually, I don't have a question, but I lost connection
Yeah.
when you were explaining H1 to H6.
H1 to what?
H6, I lost my connection there.
All right. So does anyone want to help us out when it comes to H1 to H6? And what they mean to the what? What they mean to the on our structure itself. All right, Mr. Akinku. Yeah. Elizabeth.
I would like to help about the H1 to H6. H1
Yeah.
represents like the header. The more like H1 has the biggest header, while H6 has the least header. So like H1 is the biggest, then H2 has the lesser one, H3 has the lesser one, H4
So
has
now,
another lesser one. So it
so
is
now,
like you
Akinku,
going from
now,
the
yeah,
biggest
one minute,
to
please.
the smallest.
So now, so it's not really about size itself. I just Akinku, don't just get it wrong. It's not really about size. I don't mean. So this H1s to
Yes,
H6, they have a particular meaning attached to it. It's not really about size.
Yeah,
So now the size right now just Bukola, you want to say something?
no, yeah, like I'm not confirming what to say. Like H1 is for the main heading, H2
Yeah,
sub
meaning
heading, H3 sub heading, H4
so
sub
do you
sub
understand that
like
now?
that.
So, I can don't just misplace about just think it's about size alone. It's not only about size itself. Either way. So the H1 on the web page means what it means something else as a main heading on the web page. So now what this text is what is the main focus. So the other ones are what are sub under it itself. Either way. So it's not about what H1 being the biggest and H6 being the smallest. It's about what the meaning behind the what it's just headings itself. So your headings, H1 has what being the main heading followed by your H2 subheadings, H3 your subheadings that way. So you're more about so now just for example when you're writing your notes yourself in school, I remember when I was in secondary school, right? When you put a new topic, right? When you put a new topic, like, right? What you do so at the beginning of your page of your screen itself, I'm saying of the note itself, at the top you write your heading, right? At the top of your page itself. So some students even go as far as to decorate the heading itself, make it very bold, and they was underline it underline it, right? That's what
yes,
I'm saying. That represents what the main heading on the web page itself. So now, if you are not writing on your note again, and you scoop and go down further, you also have what a sub heading, right? So this sub
yes,
heading
sir.
can be categorized as your H2, so because that's what is a sub heading, right? So your subheading goes that way, down. So it keeps on getting nested. So if you have other headings, that'll be your HT under the H2. So that's how it is structured like. I don't know. So Aisha, I don't say something like so Aisha. Come, I see your hand is raised up. Aisha, I don't say something. All right.
Please, I have
So
I
now
have a
who else?
question.
Yeah, we're listening.
Okay. I really want to understand that DIV very well. I actually got it from the visual class, but I really don't understand. I also have another question from when you were mentioning the semantic structural elements. And
Yeah, we're
you
listening.
only explained the only one I was able to get was the heading, which we have been working on all this while. And how about the main? Like because we're talking about heading and headings, we said that we have the H1 to
So
H2
I
the
think you
heading,
didn't
the
hear me when I
subheading,
was
and
just
all those things. How
yeah.
about the
So I
main,
said
the main one
so now
and
okay.
the
So now
H2?
when it comes to the div, so I mentioned it in the past few minutes. I said when it comes to the div itself, is a container, right? So the div is a container used to group elements together, right? So that's the work of the div itself. So back in those days, in fact, we see back before HTML, we say before the introduction of HTML5, what they used mostly was the div for all containers. Either way, so it's a div for all containers. So for any kind of container on the web page, they use the div for it, right? So which is what I remember I said the div is just a generic container. It has no meaning behind it. What the container just does is what the div just do is it's a group elements together. I don't know, so it has no special meaning behind it itself. Yeah. So I was speaking about the div, right? So I said the div. So I was speaking about the div, right? I said the div is more of what is a container, right? Used to what group elements what together. So now, before the advent of HTML5, I am saying, and before the advent of your semantic HTML, right? What the developers then used to use was the div itself. So there's a div and the connection with what with the class name to give more meaning to what to the div to the div itself. So that you as a developer, when you go to a person's another person's code, you see the class that says navigation, automatically you know about this div is for what list of what navigation what links, right? So that's what this div represents. I don't know right now because based on the class that you see over here, and it says what the class says what navigation, right? So automatically you as a developer should know about this div here means what is a div for what your navigation what links itself. So now developers, I remember when it comes to technology what it evolves, right? So it tries to make things what better for everyone. So now and then people that develop the HTML5 just talk about instead of course using the div every time for all the structural elements, why not just what create certain elements that have what especially they define what meaning. Anyway, and that was introduce what your nerves, your header, your main, the aside, your sections, your article, and the what and the footer. So I'm going to show you a diagram over here right now. So on my page over here, I have like let me say a layout of how what a web page what looks like. As you can see over here. So right now I have the nav bar, right? So the nav bar is like what your list of what is a container that holds what your list of what your links, right? For example, your piggyverse here, you can see your list of links over here, right? So you have your list of links, your enterprise, your STM, those are what list of what of links. Same thing with the so same thing with piggyverse over here. So you can see at the top over here, you have your piggyverse logo, and then you have your list of what links on the side here, and then your buttons itself. So now this container here is what at the top here is the nav bar. So nav bar, then you have your sections, your headings, till you get down to what lastly here. Either way, so now most websites have they follow the same pattern where you have your nav bar at the top, your nav bar, your heading at the top, then you have your various sections. So you have a section one, sorry. So you have a section one, a section two, to get down to what where till you get down to the last bottom of last element on the web page, which is the footer. So mostly now, when it comes to the web layout, the footer is mostly like the last container on the page. That's what you call your footer. Oh, sorry, this has to be your footer. Okay, so now the footer is like it's like the last element on the web page. So when it comes to the main tag is more like the main tag here over here contains the main content of of the page itself. As the word says, when you say main, what does that mean? So main means what? The main content of the page. So it contains the main content of the page itself. That's why you have your main. Then when it comes to your aside, now I'm going to show you. I think when it comes to punch, I think they use something like that. So I think on punch newspaper, on punch site, as the word says aside, so has more meaning to it itself. When you say aside, as the word says aside means what should be on on the left side or on the right side. That's what says aside. So I'm trying to look at if I can see any element say that over here. So you can see at the top over here, we have our list of what links, right? So this is your nav bar at the top over here. So let's see if we can get the content of the page. So I'm gonna see if I can get the content of the page itself for punch. Um so now everyone has their own defined meaning of how they do their own things. So yeah, okay, you have the body here. So you can see over here right now, there isn't div over here for the stuff itself. Okay, this is now okay. See this can I see why it says can we also see the so can we also point this news site over here, right? So you can see the class, the div and the class name over here, right? So you can see right now they are using what so I think right now their content is somehow messed up in a way because they're using what the div for almost all the audio containers itself. You can see your div class and I see what fixed header. So now you as the my person when you see this fixed header, what does that mean? That means what you have to use what an header for that itself. I don't mean. So that's where you have what your div over here. So you see your div. So here it says progress container. I can see your navigation map over here. So this was where they did their code back in those days before the advent of your semantic HTML. So now you as a person now as a developer, when I see your div, I say class of a navigation wrapper. So you as a person, what do you as a developer, what do you think will be inside of it? So you can see okay, right now you have your nav bar. So now everyone has their own way of doing their own things. You can see right now this is a navigation wrapper. So use a div to hold the wrapper itself. Inside the wrapper, you now have your nav tag. So you can see your nav tag over here, everyone. So now the nav tag has the list of list of navs itself. I don't know one. So that's basically how it looks like. So you have your li, and then inside the nav itself. So now when it comes to semantic HTML, it's more about you using certain elements that have specific meaning attached to it itself. So whenever you use your nav bar, you know your nav tag contains your list of links. And when it comes to when you use your header tag, it contains is at the like the top most container at the top of your web page itself. So when it comes to your main, the main tag here contains the main content of the web page. So I think mostly they use it mostly on dashboards. That's where you see the main tag itself, or certain websites that just have little various sections itself. That's where you see the main tag. So when it comes to your aside, so that the aside is mostly used on let me say on news sites or magazines itself, where you have a special div on the left or right side of the web page itself. Either way, so that's like the aside, and you have your section for so your section tag just groups your web page layouts into various parts on the screen itself. So am I able to answer your question magnificent design? Before I keep on talking till next week. So magnificent, am I able to answer your question? Are you still lost?
Yes, 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 sir, yes, sir, yes, sir.
All right
Support.
then. So before I continue, can anyone just explain what he or she has learned so far? Can anyone explain what he or she has learned so far? So when it comes to your semantic, and when it comes to your syntax, you all know the definition. Yeah, I can go. Yeah, we're listening.
What I've learned so far, I've learned that syntax are like rules and regulation that I have to follow through while writing my code. And
What?
I also learned that systematic is the meaning behind each rules and code. So I know more about generic elements, which are the div, and I know about
Your divs and your span. Yeah.
systematic structure of elements, which are the navigation bar, the header, the main, the aside, the footer, and I also like learned a lot about the navigation bar itself.
Yeah. So cool. Yeah. Thank you very much. Okay. Cool. So how many SP do you want? So who else, please? Anyone? You see, there's not any SP. So no one has any other question to ask, right?
So I want
So
to
let's all prepare for our next class. You want
Alright,
SP?
sir.
You're late to you applied this, so that's passed already. So now, yeah, in our next class, we're going to start working on CSS, right? So you're going to know about CSS. And when I say CSS, guys, you all know what CSS represents, right? It's more about the style of the web page, right? And I say CSS means what? Cascading style sheets. That's the formula of CSS, right? And it represents what is layout. I'm saying the presentation, right? The style of the web page. So yeah, let me show you how to add our styles to our HTML elements, where you have your inline styling, your internal styling, and your external styling. So all these are going to fit in our next class so far. So thank you very much. Oh, someone else has a question. Oluwashemi logo, yeah, sharply for quite a day, please.
All right. My question is on the strong and the EM.
Yeah.
I want to ask, how does the browser display it to make us know the
Ah,
important?
do you have this on your system or your phone? So you sharply tap it on your code now and look at how it looks like on the screen. I say how it looks like on the screen on the web page. My
I'm
boss, haven't
using
even
my
practicing at all. Yeah.
I'm using my phone. I don't have a system.
And so, if you want to do it on your phone, you want to view it on your server on the web. You should see how it looks like now. So over here right now, this is my screen, right? Can you see my screen? So now you can this place over here. This is my strong tag. Let me show you the code. So so you can see my screen, right?
Yes, sir.
So you can see where I'm writing the Kwemi is a strong is a software developer, right?
Yes,
You
sir.
can see so this is this line here. So this is the line over here. So if I go to my screen now, so this is how it looks like on the screen on my browser. So you can see Kwemi looks bold and so the developer is what is in italics, right?
Yes.
So this is how it looks like visually. But behind the scenes, can you meet your mic please? You're kind of you're oh, so now I said when it comes to strong and right? You say strong makes italics, right? That's what it appears like visually. But for your screen readers and your SEO, it says a different story, right? So for your screen readers and SEOs, it tells you what the browser it tells you that what this text within me for strong means that what this text is what is important. I know me. It is very what important. So just take it as an ordinary what text itself. So it's very what important. Why for your means what lay more emphasis on what on this text itself. So when you're pronouncing it, add more stress to what to its syllabus itself. So that's what it represents. So I'm able to answer your question now. Yes
Yes, sir.
and yes.
Yes.
Thank you very much, everyone. So since there's no other question, I'm going to call it a day. So except Joshua has any question to anything to say.
Yeah,
Mr. Joshua, I don't have anything to
thank
say, sir.
you. I don't really have much to say, but like, please always log into your portal every day. There's always update, live classes, update, everything there. Always log into your portal and make sure you subscribe to your portal before the subscription end. I feel everyone is on a 3 day trial now basically. And we it was a 7 day trial before, but we expanded it to 3 days for because we understand everything and everything. So it doesn't inconvenience anybody and nobody loses materials from there. From any part of the country you are joining from, you can also, have access to make payment for the portal itself. Very, very important. Thank you very much. Really appreciate. I love the vibe and the energy. Please let's keep it going consistently. That's what will help and that's what will work. If you say you want to quit now, that you don't understand something at this very beginning, um, you might not enjoy it up until the end. It's very, very important to stay consistent now. And if you're having any technical issue, if you're having any issue at all, reach out to us. And also, your quotes be active. Don't let us drop message and nobody is saying anything. Everywhere is just ghost. It's not fair. So, and also your group leaders too, they're very, very important. Is we're actually going to be dropping instructions around, group leadership and every other thing, and the project everyone will be working on. By now, you should start building because me personally, if you start building from now, it's going to be easy for you. It's going to be very, very easy for you. I don't want a scenario where it's after you now learn finish, you now start your own journey because there is journey and there is journey. Some people start their own journey when when after they finish learning the course, and that's not how it's supposed to be. You're supposed to start building yourself from within the course. So when you are done, you just have a portfolio already and put out yourself there. Put out yourself. Do you get? And if you start showing up now from your status, from your face, people start seeing you. I told you I got my first job from WhatsApp status. So people are watching and people are noticing. Yes, WhatsApp status actually work for developer. You most likely get your first job from not applying for jobs on LinkedIn or Twitter. You get your first job from your cycle eventually. So please let's take it very, very serious. Please can we see the page of the code? I mean, so as regards the glitch on the SP, we'll fix that. Don't worry. I have to be very, very strict now. I'm very, very competitive. Thank you very much. Have a lovely night. Yeah.
Sorry, I have a question.
What's your question?
Yeah, you said we should take a screenshot of this